So what's going on, guys? My name is MrDalekJD and you've read the title correctly. Black Ops 3 has had a few recent changes and updates over the last few days, of course including Newton's Cookbook as a new feature in the main menu of zombies, but surprisingly that's not the only thing that they've changed. When this update first came out for PS4 there was no news about any updates or anything because Treyarch's livestream wasn't even announced then, so a lot of us were like, what the heck's happened and what's different with Black Ops 3 with this latest update. But besides just the Newton's Cookbook and the 4K support for PS4 Pro, there are some new zombie changes which I wanted to rule out to you guys for those that are still playing along on Black Ops 3, and I'll definitely be going back as well. And they're mainly fixes in Revelations, but we have a fix on Shadows and Zetsubo as well, so let's jump into those. So our first fix is on Shadows of Evil, which resolved an exploit during the totem ritual part of the main Easter egg. I've no idea what glitches were involved there when it comes to the flag step and popping it down during the Easter egg, but that's now fixed, so there shouldn't be any real issues completing that Easter egg. Let me know if you guys are still having issues, as I know some people like activate the end cutscene and it just doesn't work, which is really strange. There's also a fix on Zetsubo no Shima, which fixed a potential exploit with the fan and plane trap. Now to me, the fan trap was always a real touchy one to use in general, and the plane trap, I didn't really know there was anything wrong with it, but they fixed a potential exploit, and Revelations is where they fixed a ton of things. So they fixed an issue with the Apothecon mask that occurred at high rounds. That's awesome. The summoning key will no longer disappear after teleporting out of the arena, which is brilliant because even in some of my games I've noticed before, like when I was completing it for the first time, our summoning key disappeared, and then when I've played in other times, as soon as I left the arena and I'm back in Kino de Toten, the summoning key was in my hands and then suddenly wasn't, and you could see it like in the ground and you couldn't pick it up. So that's fantastic that that's now fixed. They've also added an animation to alert the player when a mech Z spawns, so that is really interesting as well. I don't know what that animation looks like. Again, this is all just currently available on the PlayStation 4 and it's not available on PC or Xbox One as of now, but there's another fix as well which addressed a fatal error that occurred when using Apothecon Servant at high rounds. So that's awesome. No longer should there be any real things that go wrong when you're trying to go for a high round attempt. And again, another fix where they fixed high round exploits. So that's very, very interesting. I'm not sure if that's fixed any of the main crashes that occur with the map, but that should have done. Now there's also a fix now where players are no longer able to use the Anywhere But Here Gobblegum during the Dark Arena challenge, as it was causing issues. Now if you don't know what that means, essentially you could use the Anywhere But Here Gobblegum in the final boss fight, and you could go outside back into the Revelations map and nothing would be spawning because it would all be occurring in the final boss room. And I know Codename Pizza used that as a myth busting Mondays, and it was interesting because you could actually leave, but now they've stopped that Gobblegum from working, as it might have caused some issues with your game and the fact that it just wouldn't work. There's also a progression break which was fixed that sometimes occurred when players picked up the summoning key. So that's interesting, and more so as well is something that these patch notes won't tell you. And this was tweeted at me last night by a guy called @RossLitcher31, where he showed me a little video showing one of the things they added were new spawns to the Verrucht area of Revelation. So if we watch his video, you can see what we're talking about here. So this section of Verrucht is really popular with high round players, as you can essentially only have zombies spawning from that little window there, and it was just an awesome place to be because you could just shoot the Apothecon Servant and that would be awesome. But as you can see on screen, 2 new zombie spawns were added to Revelations, which he's going to show us now. And again, all credit to Ross. You can find his link down below. But there, spawn number 1 left of the mystery box location. Zombies never used to come out of the ground like this before. It's very, very odd. And then again, towards the back area here, there is a door which people keep shut, and now there's no reason for that to be kept shut, because before zombies never spawned out of the ground, but now they do. And as you can see with this update, it makes training here way more difficult because there are zombies literally spawning out of the ground where you're standing, rather than the areas before where they're coming just through the window and through the electrical door traps. That's interesting. I don't quite know why Treyarch updated that and added more spawns, but maybe they didn't want people to go to high rounds as much. They wanted to challenge people. I have no real idea why they've done that, but that's something which the patch notes didn't tell us. And that's not to say that they've changed and added more spawns in other maps as well besides just this particular strategy, but this is the only one that I've seen so far. But aside from that, that is all the things we've had updated and changed to Black Ops 3 with the latest update, aside from the obvious, which added 4K support to those that have a PS4 Pro like myself. itself. Now, I wish I could do a comparison of what it looked like before versus what it does now in 4K, but unfortunately, not a lot of capture cards exist right now that can do 4K at 60 FPS, and if they can, they are extremely expensive. Like, it's ridiculous. The Elgato is a very nice capture card for me, and I'm happy at 1080 60. A lot of you guys can't even watch videos in 4K 60 FPS, so there's no real point uploading them, but it would be nice one day for me to do a comparison. But if you guys have the game on PC and a 4K monitor, I'm sure you can guys look up some gameplay of the game in 4K, but it seems like the HUD is much crisper and sharper. That is a native 4K. The game itself, however, is an upscaled 4K. Nonetheless, it still looks a lot better than its original 1080p version on the original PS4, so overall I'm really happy with this, and I'm happy that Treyarch is still supporting with the game, and I hope that my suspicions come true and later down the line we see even more content being added. But there's a lot of exciting things to get excited for with BO3, and the possibility of more content in the future is really exciting. But if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to smack that like button, as that would be awesome. Let me know your thoughts down below of Treyarch supporting this game post it being the main Call of Duty game, and I'll catch you guys next time.